Kbsa Kitchen Studio in Manchester, and I've been designing and installing kitchens for 42 years. I'm very fortunate to have won lots of awards over the years, and it's really strange. It feels like it's harder to win them. I think that's a real credit to the industry that we've lifted our game. It's great to see such amazing design out there. The award that I won was actually for the category of a kitchen designer under 25,000, which is, it's super exciting because people don't think I do kitchens like that. The fun ones are to do when they're really challenging. You're trying to hit somebody's budget. And the nice thing about this award, it was for the children of one of my other clients. So I've done a kitchen for their mum and dad. And then this young couple just had a baby and just moved in. Just so nice to think like, oh, wow. So I'd had a client with a bigger budget and a bigger house, and then to do their children. I mean, this gentleman's actually 6'5", so I say children, he's a huge bloke. Yeah, so it's then designing for somebody that loves cooking, 6'5", couldn't have an extractor above his head because he's such a big guy. And how do you get the storage in? And I could go tall with the storage because he can reach it, and then make it feel like the space for the children to be playing on their little runarounds and things like that. The starting point was actually knocking a wall down because it was 2 rooms. And then getting access to the garden. So we knocked 2 rooms into one. It was a tiny wee little kitchen and a tiny little dining room. And it actually had a kitchen with an angle in it. And when you get a hob going across a corner, so it felt completely suffocated. And then you didn't see the garden. They've actually got a lovely garden. And so they needed to be able to be in the kitchen and the children be able to go outside to the garden and play in the garden. So it was very much about their future in that room. And then islands give you that lovely workspace where the children can climb up one side and be rolling out pastry and playing and things like that. So the island's not got an appliance on it to keep it as a hobby space as well as a baking space. And then storage. It's always storage into when you've got babies, you've got bottles and sterilizing units and all of the bibs and everything that come with it. So you need storage. That room's actually quite small. So as you walk in from the hallway, is that the first thing on your right hand side are those ovens. So classically, if you'd have ended up with a tall unit there, you would have had a big side panel next to you as you walk in, and then you blindside the kitchen. You have to be in the room before you look and see the kitchen. I know that I've given up storage, but then that area is the dining room. So that end of the room is the dining room. So therefore I didn't want it to feel like too much like a kitchen table. I wanted it to feel prettier. So how do you put the ovens in the room and make it look prettier? So that was a way of doing it, to make it so you don't, although the ovens are there, the focus isn't the oven. Just in that I did almost the same detail in his parents' kitchen. So, they loved it. And obviously he's seen it a lot because he's been at his mum and dad's. And therefore got it straight away. His challenge was probably the extractor, because he wanted no extractor in his face because he's so tall, but he also wanted a gas hob. And there's only one company that does a really tidy, I should say. There's some that do pop-up extractors, but it's an extractor that is in the middle of the gas hobs. It seems to be a problem solver. And he loves it. Some of the things that you can't get them from the imagery is that the wall behind the extractor, so there's a splashback and then there's a wall above, we've done with metal. So that as and when he can hang things on it with magnets. If he wanted to put a knife block up out of reach of the children, he could put it up on the wall, or he could put accessories on the wall as he developed with his cooking skills. And the island is also made of metal. And that can have, again, anything held with magnets on it. So you can get little magnetic strips that you put on the back of a box, and you put herbs on the island. Actually, when I got there to photograph it, it had fridge magnets on it. People have bought them fridge magnets with little fun things about the baby and the house and so on. So it's really quite sweet to see that it can chop and change by what's going on in their lives. And if they wanted to put the children's pieces of art on the wall, they can just do it with a few magnets, and then they can take it down without ruining the walls. Actually, the metal was done by him. He's actually in the car industry, and one of his contacts is the metal workers that fix and repair his vehicles. So the metalwork was done by someone else. It was designed by me, but done by someone else. What I've done on the island is it's actually a trough. So the edge of the island is a metal tray. So it's been powder coated, it's a metal tray, and the worktop sets into it. So you can actually put suckers onto the worktop, lift it out and put something else in. So if at the time their budget only allowed for laminate worktop, so if they wanted to put a piece of granite or marble or ceramic in there in the future, and they can do. Installation went quite well. The challenge was the worktop in the island, because I'm buying laminate from Germany to go into a metal-made island. Actually, the first top that arrived didn't quite fit. So, you know, you only need the island to be 1 millimeter or 2 millimeters out, and I can't cut it because I can't expose chipboard in a tray. So the honest answer is it was the second worktop that went in. In an ideal world, you'd build the metal island, then you would measure it, and then you would order the worktop. You can't, with German kitchens, work like that. You have to give the technical drawings and tell the metal workers this is the dimension we need, and the Germans the measurement that we need, and the two weren't quite right. So we trimmed it, fitted it, and so they were with a functioning kitchen, and then we had another worktop followed in a couple of mils smaller. Always trying to find new and fresh ideas, but I do like to share those ideas. They actually ordered that kitchen in about 20 minutes. The first time she'd left the baby, and she'd driven a long way, because we're about an hour and a half drive from where they live. And by the time she got to us, you could see the emotion in her face that she'd not brought the baby. So we got straight into it, and she was like, what do you recommend? And I was like, well, this door doesn't show fingerprints. This is a really good door. We do a matching worktop to it, so it's easy to pick wall coverings and things, because you're not adding loads of different finishes. I've designed the island like this, and there was one in the studio. It's a mini version of one in the studio. And I'm on budget. This is the budget that you gave me, and this is the fridge, this is the oven, this is the sink. Would you like that tap? And it was like, here's our credit card. And they were back in the car because she wanted to get back to her baby. But that comes with trust and recommendation. So because they know me and they know that it's coming from an honest place. I would like to win more a business award. I don't think of myself as a businesswoman. The business side of things follows my passion. So the fact that I'm passionate about design and people and kitchens and doing what I do, the business bit kind of follows that.